So what do you do if you've been pulled over by the police in relation to speeding, dangerous driving, careless driving? What you don't do is get rude and aggressive with the police officers. The Americans have got a great expression, don't get mad, get even. And that's what you need to do. If you feel you've been wrongly accused of something, then what you need to do is start preparing your case really from the moment they stop you. So mistake number one would be becoming rude and argumentative with the police officers. The first thing that does is sets them on edge and makes sure that they're going to remember who you are and everything about the incident so that they can recall very clearly when they come to court who you were and what your attitude was. And they're human like anyone else, and if you've exhibited antipathy towards them, you can bet when the day comes in court they may well exhibit the same antipathy to you. So don't be rude or argumentative, don't be mad, get even. That's the first thing I would say. Cooperate fully with the police officers, that's the second aspect of it, and by that I mean they're perfectly entitled to ask you your name, your address, your MOT and your insurance. Nowadays they tend not to bother with the MOT and insurance because they've usually done a DVLA computer check even before they've stopped you. So they're aware of your insurance position, or they've got a very good idea of it, and they're aware of your MOT and your license status. In the old days they would ask you to provide these documents to them, and they would sometimes provide you with a document which people commonly referred to as a provider, where you go to the police station within 7 days with the documents. So you won't see that so much nowadays, so they've got a lot of information even before they stop you, so be aware of that. Cooperate, get names, give details, and just cooperate fully with them on that. What I would suggest you do not do, and we see this from time to time, and I would call this a mistake number two, is don't start demanding calibration certificates and certificates of authenticity and certificates of accuracy in relation to measurements. Your time will come and you can deal with that at a trial. At this stage, the police officers may well show you a speed gun, or they may well show you a video in their car, and what you want to do is be taking a note of what equipment is being used. Okay, so have a look at the equipment that's in their car. If you see a handheld device, is that a Unipar device? Is it a Falcon radar device? Is it a Vascar device that's being used? Is it a Provida? So have a look at those things, look out for those words or labels and take a note of them at the time. So note down the type of device that's being used so you can explain to your solicitor at a later stage just what equipment was used in this case and how it might be used. Now, another thing that I would suggest you do, and in fact we've actually sent out some small video cameras to some of our clients to assist them with this, is video evidence. Everybody has smartphones nowadays, or they seem to have smartphones. Don't do this right into the face of a police officer. There's nothing more obstructive or rude than somebody wielding a camera when you're actually trying to do your job. Again, I would say a simple, polite and discreet use of your smartphone or a video camera to video the circumstances surrounding the offence. And the best thing to do there would be to also catch their car in the video. They'll have their registration number. We'll be able to identify the time, the place and the circumstances from that, because the police will later give evidence about it. What you want to capture there: perhaps video your dashboard if you've got an indicator of the temperature, so that will tell us whether there are icy conditions or whether it's better than that. Video the actual road conditions themselves, video the police officers on the roadway so we can see their position in relation to yours. Video the general road conditions, which will just allow us to see the traffic flow and the level of traffic flow at the time that you've been stopped. All of that can be really important, particularly in dangerous driving or careless driving. As I say, be discreet with what you're doing. You're perfectly entitled to video. You're entitled to video even the process of discussing with the police officers what's happening. But don't get into an argument about that whole situation. And if they're demanding that you stop any video activity, just tell them that you would like to refer to that at a later stage. So that's why you're videoing, and keep it polite, simple and straightforward. The final point that I would make is that you should speak to a specialist solicitor as soon as possible. Don't wait for the case papers to come in. Don't wait for a citation to arrive at your door. Speak to a specialist lawyer as soon as you can. Sit down with him or her and find out if there is anything else that requires to be obtained at that time. Sometimes, particularly in dangerous driving or careless driving cases, it's worth having the locus examined by an expert. Sometimes it's worth having your vehicle examined for damage and for an indication of what the damage was, and that's the time to preserve that type of evidence. So speak to a lawyer as soon as you can. They'll give you some advice. It's usually free in the early stages, so it's not going to cost you anything, and all it's going to do is secure evidence for you and help your case in the long run. If you want our assistance in connection with any of this, call us on 0800 612 9597. That's 0800 612 9597, or go online to our website and fill in the form, and we'll come back to you today with more information about how to deal with your case.